to stay in the conversation to making into majors, to making it into worlds. Both these teams have done this. We've talked about Pittsburgh Knights a little bit more because they've had a lot bigger wins. They had 3 wins in a row over Space Station, over Alpine, over G2, all at the same time. I mean, that's a huge deal for a team like Pittsburgh Knights, and I don't think they've gotten enough credit for what they've done and been able to accomplish so far. Loco's had the same type of story. They haven't had as big of wins, but again, they're here, they're playing well, and they're a team that you have to look out for, and they're brought up by us when they go up against even the big teams.
I think it's a great point to bring up, especially, there's been so much hype around Sosa and his role on this team, but now also ZPS, who picks up the first save for Pittsburgh Knights. If that's one place they've found themselves higher on a leaderboard, it's in the saves per game. They're averaging almost 6 saves a game. That's good for 4th in North America. So expect the ball to be coming back on their end a lot. As to how Loco do that, well, I'm sure it's a mixed bag, but right now they are having an extended look here on defense.
These teams have met up before. It was Team Loco to take down Pittsburgh Knights. It was a game 5, and Delta might have the first chance here. He puts it high over the net. It was off the crossbar and out. And Loco are all over the Knights here early on.
Oh, and Andy just couldn't quite finesse that first touch, trying to get the flip reset. But Knights are forced into this clear pattern, but then ZPS was just given a free ball. That looked like more Loco offense, but then ZPS picked his gap.
And positioning here was fine. The pass just not on target. ZPS was transitioning out of defense downfield and was gifted the ball by Delta, who was trying to, I believe, give it over to Andy, but the pass just behind him and not fast enough. ZPS does a great job to one the time that went on to target. And a 1-0 lead for the Knights after feeling a lot of pressure here from Loco.
Beast of Bonium, he won't get a chance for a double tap. He's also doing a good job to get the ball out to the side and to get back to it for the continuing pass to Rodoko. Rodoko wins the majority of the 50, and Sosa pre-flip into a beauty, 2-0.
Yeah, Sosa is a special player. Even when he was on Plot Twist, you could see the potential he had, and this is a great touch from Sosa, just to at least get behind the ball, get in front of the ball, rather, when that defender is coming after it, and the goal is even better. Great play from Sosa to give the Knights a quick 2-0 lead here.
Rodoko already here from the corner. Gonna get a quick clear off the kickoff, so the Knights won't feel an immediate pressure, while Loco were able to put together some strings of offense. Still didn't really feel the real pressure on the Knights. The one shot they had where ZPS had to make the save in net, didn't have to jump very far for it. But overall, Loco have tried to work their way down the field, but it's been an issue getting those consistent touches. Their best shot comes here with Andy, and ZPS was already blocking the angle. But Andy earlier also had a flick that ended up hitting the crossbar.
And Andy, there's a lot of individual plays from Andy that we've seen from Loco, and even earlier on in the fall split as well, that have been quite dangerous. Here's Delta on the second touch, can't get there, but he's a player that you have to look out for individually. He likes to bring that ball up and keep the ball close to him to have an opportunity to put on that individual display.
That individuality certainly needed on any team. We talk about the mechanical ability of some of the top players in North America. More and more of these teams at the top, I say more and more of these teams, really just the few teams at the top are pretty good at everything, right? And they have the mechanical ability to outplay an opponent if they can. So but other times you got to be able to mix it up. Your field awareness has to be on point, and a solo play isn't always the best option. Sometimes it is. But right now, no option has worked for Loco. 6 shots on net, nothing to show for it. And you want to talk about the difference. Well, the Knights only have 3 shots and 2 goals. Well, there's the first goal for Andy, and he does find the back of the net.
Well, I was about to follow up, Jorby, and say, the Loco have done a great job of corralling the Knights into their own half, and it's just a matter of time, it feels like. They have 7 shots. They finally beat the defense here. The Knights, they're giving a lot of space to Loco right now, especially between the top of the box and the midfield line, where Loco kind of have free reign of possession to knock the ball in to the Knights side. And a lot of these balls that the Loco is playing into on the Knights side is really not that dangerous. It's more just that the Knights can't seem to keep possession breaking up from their half.
Delta, another one, but nothing really to look at. Sosa was able to take it away, but this is another good look here for Loco. As long as they can keep midfield down and they can find passes like that to Andy, well, they might find themselves in a tied game. Beastabonium finds it off the crossbar, and that's exactly what we have.
This is great awareness for Beastabonium, too, because he's got plenty of boosts, and he goes into it. 15 boosts in the tank, and he's trying to read which way that ball is going to bounce and realizes, oh, it's going to bounce right back towards me. It's a tough one to read. You never know if it's going to bounce in or out. And instead, bounces right back at him, and Loco battling back and with possession looking good going into the final minute here.
All of that pressure finally mounting to value on the scoreboard. Loco gonna have to do it again. Knights don't have a look here, and Beastabonium knows it, kicks it back to Delta, and Loco find their third in a row.
And they're really finding their stride now. 12 shots for them in this game, and you can just tell with the gameplay, ignore the score throughout this game. The gameplay from Loco has just been better than the Knights. They have put the Knights back on their goal line. They have taken advantage of the defense being bunched up by the Pittsburgh Knights. A lot of space is given to Loco right now, and now they're really finding the gaps through the Knights defense.
The Knights have a little bit of time left. They might be able to get a push going here, but that bump onto Sosa, well, I was gonna think it was gonna make things hard, but Sosa made it work. An easy shot defended by Delta. Delta letting Sosa come to him. Rodoko forced up quickly. ZPS ready for the push on the Knights. Gets the double tap over towards the box, but nothing really for Sosa to work with. And that's a massive clear for Loco. Completely botched play by the Knights. Last chance down the pitch in regulation. Here comes Sosa. Underneath on the flip reset. Forced the two to commit. And the entire Pittsburgh Knights rotation was on the other side of the field. Loco win game one.
Wow, that was a great last chance effort there for the Knights, especially with Sosa getting that flip reset. And unfortunately, I think he moved so quickly downfield that the rest of his team couldn't follow up and support. And unfortunately for them, not able to finish. And for the Knights, that's a very sleepy game one, if you ask me. They are much better than what they showed here in this first game. Even though the scoreline is very close, a lot of those were some quick 2 goals there for the Knights. But Loco, they had control of this game. They had the pressure. They backed up the Knights. And at the end of the day, they earned this win because of the way they played. They were the better team on offense, and they didn't let the Knights out. I mean, it's as simple as that. Really, when you think back to the Knights' opportunities, there were maybe 3, Sosa's being the last one, and the 2 goals that they had. I mean, that's about it from the Knights. Otherwise, they were playing defense for most of this game.
Yeah, they really didn't have a lot of opportunities to break out. And Rodoko, who is typically the facilitator of that for this team, was relatively quiet and didn't have the same type of midfield presence that I'm used to seeing from him. So we'll see if they can get it right. It didn't start well for the Knights initially either. Like, they just allowed Loco to have so much pressure on them at the start. And while they got out of that and they were able to score 2, this is the issue with their defensive problems. Ooh, Delta got a touch off that crossbar. Not sure he needed to.
That's a great way to start game one for the Knights as well, because they get a good passing play through the midfield and have a scoring opportunity right off the bat. First shot goes to them, and wanting to back up Loco. That's a mistouch from Delta. Right side shot, and Rodoko puts it away for the Knights.
There he is, Rodoko, picking up that first one. That's a nice challenge from Sosa. Delta forced a hustle, misses his read, making an easy lane for Rodoko, because Andy wasn't expecting a miss from his teammate, so he kept driving forward.
That's just a mistouch there from Delta. Yeah. And Knights once again able to capitalize. It's how they scored a goal in the last game. It's just the mistakes from Loco.
Ooh. Beastabonium, if he didn't have to avoid a player on the challenge, might have had a look at the net. Loco again. Ooh, Delta just going to get down, wait for ZPS to play the next touch. Now it's Loco pulling off for a better look on a challenge. They are just finding the wins on these 50s more and more, Corelli.
Great pass. And the Knights, they're using each other a lot more too. You're seeing the ideas there. That's a great shot though by Beastabonium, as it does get saved by Rodoko. The Knights a bit more poised in the midfield now, able to find possession. ZPS almost able to get by 2 if he wasn't bullied off the ball. So about a bit of a better start. Obviously, the first goal helps for the Knights, but they're showing up in the midfield a lot more, making sure that Loco can't just push them around in their own half, and Beastabonium doesn't get the touch. He still can't get back to it. Rodoko watches it all happen and carries it out.
Yeah, it's certainly a little confused, little question mark popping up over his head. But Andy is a nice save into a catch. He's got Delta on the wing, but didn't have boost to get to the flick.
No.
Doesn't matter. Delta's got you covered. Loco tied up.
And ZPS, the last man back, has 23 boost here. And Andy just lets the ball fly. I don't think it got away from him. And I don't think ZPS was expecting him to botch the flick and instead tried to make the play off the back wall, couldn't get there, and it comes straight back out to the inside the box. And Loco there to put it away. An awkward goal to score. ZPS didn't really have to dive after Andy's missed flick.
The defense has not looked the best for them, has it? I mean, even earlier you had Beast of Bonium. I'm thinking about the goal that put them in the lead in game 1, where he noticed Sosa was creeping up on the goal line, so he just smacked the ball hard against the back wall, giving the opening to Delta to score. And it's the same principle there. Loco are just finding easy gaps on the Knights' defensive line, and it hasn't taken that much effort. Corelli, only 2 shots, and the Knights have flipped around on the shot differential. They have 5, but it doesn't matter when Loco are sinking every shot. 2 goals now for Loco.
And what really does this play in is this pass from Beast of Boom, taking off the sidewall and just ever so slightly pushing it off the back wall to the back post to find Andy. That's a great play and a great pass from Beast of Boom to quickly get back to that ball and then push it across the back post. The majority of the time, players would just pinch that one away. Great finesse from Beast of Bonium there.
Delta, ooh, Delta. Oh, very close to the top, but he finds the net. 3 goals.
Hey, making amends for his mistakes earlier on. That's a great carry from Delta to get up and over the defense, especially off of a kickoff too. Defenses aren't quite set yet, and you can see how, as Delta were just able to fly up and over everyone, picking up that full boost.
If you're a Pittsburgh Knights fan, you cannot be happy with how things are progressing, because a 4th goal almost went into the net. And this team is not looking their usual selves. Corelli, you were talking about that at the end of game 1, expecting the Knights to be, well, a little more quicker on these breakouts throughout midfield. There's been just no offense, despite 5 shots being on net. I can't remember a single one of them.
Yeah, a lot of those came earlier on too in the game, where it felt like, we were even starting to compliment them, saying they were playing a lot better, but it has gone a little sleepy again, and they're getting backed up into their own side. Big clear here from Andy, and Delta's going to beat the first man. That's a great pass down. The shot from Andy, and Rodoko is there to make the save.
And Loco are just in the right spot. They're just in the right position, and the Knights are just a step behind. Like that little play right there was a perfect encapsulation of it. Delta cuts off ZPS's attempt to break the other way, and Knights are just playing a little too passively. They're trying to play off the hit. They're not trying to play the hit itself. At some point you got to be more aggressive. If you aren't able to take the ball away from the other team, if you can't play the control, all right, let's get back, let them give up possession. Well, if you haven't gotten possession in a while, you're going to have to change something up. And Sosa might do it here with a pass down to ZPS, but even there, a chance to put real pressure on a touch, and he can't get it done.
I think Sosa is the player to look for to make that change, because he's had a couple opportunities individually to set himself up to move downfield, to either pass or take it himself. And he's been quite successful, at least finding the space. Maybe not finishing yet, but right now, Loco, again, has some good control over this game. You're seeing these passes come out. The Knights, you got to give them some credit. They're doing a good job of having at least someone on the goal line, but you certainly don't want to spend these last 2 games, as they have, playing defense.
They need more pressure. And that sounds stupid in a vacuum, but they haven't had any, and so they've been slow to the challenges. This is the first time that they've actually won some successive challenges that have put them in position. But Loco always have the boost to deal with a pass, always have the player in position to deal with 1 loss on a challenge. Even right here on this push, I've never felt on that entire push that Knights were ever in control of that possession. Loco were always in position. They never put themselves in a tough spot. And it was great boost management on defense as well at the very end. Loco, I think they're winning this handily right now, 2-0.
They definitely look strong. And for the Pittsburgh Knights, there is some silver lining here in this game. They were able to move down the field a little bit more. They had a little bit more control, and the ideas were there, especially early on, that first minute and a half. I thought the Knights were like, okay, here we go. Knights are woken up. They're here to play. But then it kind of went back to this sleepy mode where it felt like the Knights were just kind of this sponge that was just absorbing the pressure from Loco and really couldn't move out from their end. There's some changes needed here from the Knights, and I think the number one thing you could say right now is you need urgency from them. They're giving Loco way too much space. We've been saying it a lot. Loco have been happy to take it up and have these individual plays or even the passing plays across the box. But if you look back to a lot of the goals that the Knights scored, a lot of it has come off the opportunity of capitalizing mistakes from Loco. And Loco, when they don't make mistakes, the Knights aren't really scoring. After their first goal, the Knights didn't really have anything to put away or clean shots to put on target. So for the Knights, you have to create your own opportunity. That's why I said, look at Sosa, maybe even Rodoko as well, as players to find each other downfield and create some sort of opportunity that they generated themselves.
They're missing that disruptive player, that player that's willing to go forward as first man, farther than maybe you'd be willing to go, and just cause a little bit of havoc. Every top team has that player, right? Or multiple players that can fill that role. But if you're just trying to play this strict textbook rotation game, it's not gonna work. You gotta find a way to disrupt the rotation. If you just allow Loco to play their game and you don't do anything to disrupt them, I mean, how are you gonna get any offense going in this series? Because right now, Beastabonium almost got the fake out on the challenge. ZPS able to save it, but still Loco are pushing Hero.
Yeah. Once again, Loco having a quick couple of opportunities here. Beastabonium wants to pop this one up and keep it alive. Knights have to find a way out, and keeping possession as well is a huge thing right now. As this ball does come back down, it does a great pass over to Beastabonium, and
Ooh.
Sosa, a great read from him on the goal line. He was up and ready for that pop.
Really was. He tracked it the whole way through and didn't jump until he absolutely needed to. It was nice poise from Sosa. He's had that on defense for the length of the series, but again, the issues really come to fruition as soon as they get to the blue half. Just slow on the breakout. They can't stay there for very long. Unless they catch Loco out on a mistake, well, the offense won't be so forthcoming unless they show us something we haven't seen yet. Well, the miss from Sosa and the miss from ZPS will kill the run from the Knights. Now Delta, hard turnaround, almost got the double, but Rodoko on the spawn picks up the save. Not over. Beastabonium, first touch, second challenge. Delta, nobody. Oh, Andy went away. Delta went away, and nobody gets the touch.
Everyone went on Loco, and only the challenge was the touch to get to the ball here for Loco, and it was a tough shot. It was over the crossbar, a tough angle. They didn't want to bang it off the back wall and give a counterattack to the Knights. So this one ominously rolls up the back wall, feeling like there are a lot of balls like that on the Pittsburgh Knights side. So they try and clear this one out. Sosa does a great job to get through, and look at this for Sosa with no boost, is able to get all the way to the other side.
He did have to use the rest in his tank to get there, and that's the problem. Right? You got downfield, but where was Rodoko and ZPS? They weren't ready, and so now you got to fight for any kind of midfield presence. ZPS gets the win on the challenge here, so maybe it can start to turn, but you still got to crack this Loco rotation. Sosa, mid-level ball, easily handled. That Rodoko got the catch. Little bit of boost, pinched across, but Sosa playing far off. He's got a lot in the tank as well. Knights looking for the game-leading goal, but they can't really punch a way through, but they're very risk-averse. But maybe they'll still be rewarded. A double commit from Loco might put them out of rotation, but Beastabonium's touch slows down Sosa just a little bit. Sosa goes by himself, can't beat both Andy and Delta. ZPS loses control of the ball, and Beastabonium gets the clear.
That's some great defense from Loco, but that's the best offense that we've seen from the Knights. You saw the individual plays with the air dribbles, threatening the net, but also the passes across and attempted passes as well from the Pittsburgh Knights. That's the offense that we would expect from a Knights team, and you can see how much skill this team has as they threaten the net once again.
Well, Beastabonium, solid touch after solid touch on defense to get Loco out of what could be some difficult situations, but instead, the Knights are struggling to get out of the orange half again. Beastabonium stinting the assault from ZPS and Loco. They have something here in midfield. For as much as we've talked about how the Knights have struggled with possession, Loco still haven't scored a goal in the game, so Knights still in position to prevent a sweep. But Andy gets a touch out, but no clear will come as Sosa sends it right back. Oh, Sosa might have got the look, and ZPS completely misread the ball. Rodoko just gets back around it, and this is the Knights' offense. They rotate the whole way back to midfield. There's nobody ready in the third, but you haven't done anything to disrupt Loco's rotation. They're just launching them off the backboard, and you hope that Beastabonium misses the ball. But even though he does, ZPS can't find the mark. Here comes Rodoko again. Andy and Beastabonium wait. Sosa almost caught him sleeping, and Andy is very thankful that Sosa didn't find the net.
Still threatening from the Knights, just can't find the mark. They've put up 8 shots now, and Loco trying to steal away the game.
Rodoko finding ZPS again, trying not to give up the easy goal. Rodoko has to wait for Beastabonium. He gave him the look, and he picked up the save. That's a hard kick to Delta. He's got the shot, but ZPS gets the save. It's not over yet. Beastabonium sends it up high. Rodoko gets the touch back to the corner. Do they chase this down? Ooh, just off the bottom of the ramp. Here's Andy. He gets the pinch, but Beastabonium isn't in position. We got overtime.
Oh, they're very lucky. They got a piece of Andy there. He had full boost going into that pickup. It would have been quite painful for the Knights to defend that one after spending so much boost earlier. But they get themselves an overtime in the best game that they've played so far. Can they keep this series alive?
Well, they're going to have to contend with Delta's pass over to Andy. Quick shot saved right into Sosa. ZPS flipping around Delta, but Beastabonium has been difficult to get by, and he is yet again. Sosa going to carry the ball forward for the Knights. Can they get set up on a long offensive opportunity? Can they put real pressure on this Loco defense? Loco has 5 saves off of the 8 shots that the Knights have given them so far. Sosa winning a midfield touch, but Beastabonium, ever the annoyance for Pittsburgh, Rodoko just slapped out of the way by Delta.
A lot of opportunity for both sides here, even going into the overtime for Loco, but Knights the minute before. Here comes ZPS by himself. He didn't have enough boost to get to the net. The Knights have had plenty of opportunities. The shots are racking up, but Loco might steal it away. Beastabonium with the second touch off the corner, and Loco take him down in a 3-0 sweep.
Beastabonium have been leading up to this very goal. It starts with that touch off the post, and inertia's your best friend for the double tap into the net. Loco sweep the Pittsburgh Knights to move on in the tournament, one that I did not expect to end in a sweep.
Yeah, and Gibbs talked about tiebreaker scenarios. Loco's is a huge, or Loco win here is huge for them as well. So a massive game for Loco and a big series for them. This was a fantastic series, I think, from Loco in the end. The Knights really started to turn it on here in this third game, but at the end of the day, Loco had too much momentum coming into this final game. They looked good throughout, and even when the Knights started to turn it back on, Loco were able to adapt and play just as good.
Well, coming up next, G2 find themselves yet again in the lower bracket for this regional. Can they make the run, or does the dream stop here with XSET? Find out after the break.